give anybody like a heads up or anything first, but I really wasn't planning on doing a live stream, so that's why I just jumped on and did it. Excuse me for the noise in the background. It's a little noisy on this street. Had a complaint on it, I think, on my last video. Someone was like, useless content, you can't hear anything, and I apologize. That's just, you don't even realize how much noise it is until, later on in editing, and, even then you got the headphones in, so it sounds a lot more clear than actually it probably is. So, yeah, so today is my last day in Indonesia. I figure I'd jump on and do a live stream. That way, it kind of gives everybody an update, more of a real time of what's going on. Tomorrow I'm heading, my videos are a little bit behind, that's what I'm going to say. But anyway, tomorrow, well, I got one person here. Tomorrow I'm going to Malaysia. I have a flight at 11 o'clock, 11:30. Cam, he lined up a way for me to actually get to the airport, and I'll be flying into KL. I'll be there for about 2 weeks, to the 15th, so from the 2nd to the 15th, and then from there I have to fly back to the US. So this is officially my last day here in Indonesia. My bicycle tour is over. Unfortunately, it wasn't really all the events that came, the events of the hardships and stuff. Hello everyone, there's 3 of us here. Give a hi so I can see who's in. Yeah, so it was really just me pulling out my bank card to do something. I think I had to, I don't know, check something, get a room or something, and I noticed the expiration date on my bank card was like, oh no. Hey Riz, how you doing? I got Riz. Hello. Darren, Shady, Mark. Let's see. Sad to see you leaving Southeast Asia. Yeah, I wanted to complete this bicycle tour, but I really liked it. Got used to seeing your videos, which was very thorough. Yeah, I've been here like 5 months now, just in Indonesia, So, and I wasn't like I was going slow. I was booking. I went slow when I wanted to go slow, and I booked when the mountain slowed me down a bit. But yeah, they're like, the only reason I had to cut my trip short is because all the things that popped up kind of put me behind a little bit, and so I was already thinking, well, how do I cut out sections of my route so I can get Borneo in and all this, and it came to the point where if I would have completed the route, through Borneo and stuff, I would have been so hard pressed for time to get back, because right now, leaving, well, not early, but leaving early on my visa, I'm still going to be hard pressed for time to get over there and try and intercept my card before it's mailed out. That's something I forgot to do. Dang it! I'll have to do that I'll have to do that when I get over to Malaysia again. So I'll have 2 weeks in Malaysia. So I have to give them a different address to mail my replacement card to. So, but yeah, no, Indonesia's been awesome. I mean, they've all been awesome, but they're all unique in their own way. Let's see. Okay, so there's no other way to solve your ATM card. Well, technically there is. So the other way to actually do it is have my card actually mailed to someone that I know. Now remember, I really don't have friends or family back in the States. I have like 2 people I kind of talk to still, right? And being a vagabond, you lose touch with a lot of people unless you're, unless you see them on the road, you don't really, so my options are people that I trust and stuff are limited. So I could have my card sent to them, but then to their address, but then they actually have to pull out the card. I have to give them my PIN number so they can, what do you say, activate the new card. So I'm actually, then they have to take an activated card that I already trusted them that they would send to me and send it through the mail, right? So it's just, it's safer just to go back and handle it myself. It's smarter to handle it myself. But yeah, so yeah, without having family, this is something you could have one of your brothers or sisters do but it's like I don't have that. I fell out with my family a long time ago. So that leaves me with friends, and it's like I got about 2 of them that I'm still in touch with. But yeah, so it's a kind of a solo ride from here. So I'm gonna, yeah, I know it's sad, isn't it? It's like no friends, no family. Hey, I'm a hobo. So it's one of those things I don't want to spend the $900 it's going to cost to get over there. But if I'm going to go back, I'm going to be riding trains again. I was doing the math the other day, and it's been like almost 9 years since I rode a train last. I chased the squirrel down the street and never came back. I got preoccupied after leaving Hawaii, and but that's how it is. Stay positive, stay adventurous, stay open-minded, and most of all, stay safe and healthy. See you when you're in Indonesia again. Yes. What about Doug's friend? Mark, let's see. What about Doug's friend? Okay. Me and Doug don't really. So me and Doug met each other because he started mentoring me a little on the YouTube thing. Because being a newbie to YouTube, he could tell me, and also Southeast Asia, actually, he had a lot of knowledge on that. So, he was a good friend of the channel and stuff, but I don't know his friends, and if I had friends, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't know mine. So, me and Doug met, and, we're friends, but, I don't really know everyone he keeps in touch and stuff. So, yeah, I'm not going to send an activated card to them. Listen, I don't even think I would send my activated card to Doug. But, yeah, no, it's something, that's the only real way of doing it. Now, it has to be activated inside the United States, too, because you can't activate a card in a foreign country. So, yeah, it is what it is. But when I get back, I can do some other things, like open a Wise account. Even though an international driver's license only lasts for a year, I can at least do that and then renew it. I think AAA still is the person in charge of doing it in the United States, so you can renew it through the mail. You know what I'm saying? So, I can do a lot of these things before I take off again. But financially, most likely, I'm going to have to take off again because America's just expensive. I love the country. America's a great country. It can be dangerous in spots, and it can be super beautiful and wonderful in other spots and friendly. And, it's a mixed bag of fruits over there. But the thing is why I never came back is just because financial nomad. Every country, even the more expensive ones, were just cheaper. That's all. But yeah, no, Southeast Asia has been very awesome. So for my subscribers and viewers that are from Southeast Asia, I do appreciate every minute being here. Every country, from Vietnam where I started, through Cambodia, Cambodia is hot as hell. Thailand, of course, Malaysia, which I spent the most time in, and now Indonesia, which is competing with Malaysia for Indonesia, I think. Yeah, went out. I think I spent the most time. No, I think Malaysia and Indonesia are about the same. Because Malaysia gives you 3 months, and I did 2 months with an extension, so 5 there and 5 here, I think. So that's a big part of my time. So, but every country's been really cool. It really has. And affordability wise, I think more budget travelers that, that don't have the big bucks to do the big things or whatever. You know, get off the beaten path and do some of the smaller spots too. I mean, there's some beautiful country out there. So I appreciate everyone in Southeast Asia, everyone here in Indonesia. That's why I wanted to do a live stream, just to thank you guys. I really do appreciate even you guys in the comments. You know, you guys have been the friendliest people, nicest. Yeah, I mean, I can't praise you guys enough. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. This has been an awesome trip, an awesome bicycle experience, but just an awesome, you know, experience in general. So hey, Tom. Tom's the gentleman that just popped in the chat room. He's the one that's been, he lives here. He's lived here for a very, very long time. And he's been my very knowledgeable teacher, as he's been taking me, not teacher, you know, tour guide type guy. He is a teacher though. Andy says, what city in the U.S. will you live in? I'm not going to live really in any, Andy. So my plan is to get back and start traveling. So do the vagabond thing in the United States, but show the difference, how it is there compared to like here in Southeast Asia. I've been able to stay in hotels and hostels and stuff like that because they're like $10 or less, you know, and in the United States they're all $60, $80 for the cheapest, you know. So that means all camping, you know. Food is 4 times more expensive, easily. There is no more $1.20 meals, you know. $1.20 gets you a small candy bar in the United States or a bag of chips, but not a meal. You're talking about as cheap as you're going to get a meal for in the United States is like $8, you know. So over like, yeah, 150,000 rupiah type of thing. You know, that's a common meal in the United States. So it's going to be more like going to the grocery store and figuring out what's the cheapest and what's on sale, and food banks at churches and different things. It's a rougher style of travel, but it's how I was traveling before, you know, going international. So all I have to do is acclimate back to that living style and stuff, and then the travel is a lot of hitchhiking, walking, and riding on trains when no one's looking, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to show you what the true hobo experience is, hopefully, and not get arrested too many times. Okay. Hey, expat Pete. Puka Life. Hello, brothers. Let's see. Let me go back a little on here. Hi, Hobo. Tell us what your plan is. I just saw the live. Yeah, I didn't. Puka Life. I hopped on. Puka Life's been a subscriber to me for a long time. I just hopped on and decided to give a goodbye, a thank you to all of Indonesia and actually all of Southeast Asia. Actually, my videos are a little bit behind, so I want to give everybody more of an up to date. So, sorry guys. I'm releasing my videos every 3 days. I'm releasing one. That gives me a little time of a little breather. You know, that everyday thing was all right, but it was a lot of staying up to 2 o'clock in the morning. I did Puka Life. Let's see. Yesterday, me and Tom took me to a temple. So, and we met a monk, and the monk was very interesting. That one took me forever to edit. So, when you guys do see it here, probably in about a week actually, because I got 2 more to put out before then. I hope you like it. You know, I'm no pro when it comes to filming, and I'm no pro when it comes to editing. So, people are like, oh, we like your rough style. It's like, it's not a style. It's just, you ain't gonna get any better from me. Alright, so, yeah, so the plan is tomorrow I'm taking off, and from the 2nd to the 15th, I'll be in KL, just hanging, visiting with Erish, and then that's pretty well just kind of the plan. See my brother down there again, pick up my Hennessy hammock that I got from Japan, you know, a little bit little bit of sentimental value with that one. So I figure I want to go back to the United States. But basically, I'm emptying my backpack, so it's just going to be starting with a hammock and hopping the trains. So yep, a hammock and trains. That's my plan. Let's see, Expat Pete. Hi Daniel, if you have the time when in KL we can meet up again. Yes, up for coffee. Yeah, it'd be cool to see you again, my brother. Definitely. Hi Daniel, are you live? Yes, I'm live, Tom. So yeah, I got two of the problems done. Well, so what happened was I had to put in my travel notice for my card so I can use my ATM, and I was locked out of my online account. So now I have to call my bank and stuff like this, but I got that handled. They did it digitally. They said I put in the wrong password from last month. I had to change it. I just didn't remember what I changed it to. It was either one or the other. And it wasn't the first one, I guess, and that was it. They didn't give me more than one try to actually put in my password before locking me out, which is kind of strange. But she did it digitally. She put the travel notice in, and then the other thing was, oh, my digital entry card for Malaysia. Yeah, that's all done. So the only one thing I forgot to do is tell them of my address change back in the United States. So when they mail out my card, it doesn't go back to that old address I don't have anymore. So I got one more thing on my plate. I'll do that when I'm in KL. 1C, hello, how are you? Which country is better, Indonesia or Malaysia in your opinion? I am not doing that. I am not going to say which one's better because you guys fight enough. I don't want to be between your guys' spousal fights anymore. No, I just yeah, you guys fight enough. I'm not going to say that. You know what? It's they're both different, but yeah, I'm not going to get into that. I'll just say you guys are different. Too different to, you know. I'll tell you which ones I don't like, though. I don't like the roads of Malaysia, and I don't like the garbage of Indonesia, but that's it. That's what I don't like. But I also don't like the gangs of the U.S. gangs and drugs, and I don't, you know, so we all have our problems. I think, so you guys can figure it out. You guys can lay bets on which one I think. And actually, the honest thing is, I don't have a favorite. You know, I know what I didn't like about each country. Like Vietnam was the traffic and the honking of the horns, because it's like air pollution. You can't relax and actually ride a bicycle because everybody honks. You know, it's just set standard. Hanoi, you can't hear anything else but honking. To where it's like a buzz. So, you know, each country has its, Cambodia. I wasn't in Cambodia long enough to really say too much about that. It's more Western, like driven, you know, like, so, because I think, like you go into a store to try and get, the grocery stores are way more expensive than like street food, because the grocery stores are trying to cater to like the Western taste. And so everything is imported and get import taxes. So. Hey, Bukalai, thank you for the 10 pounds. Where are you at, my brother? For fried bananas. Oh, before you leave, you know what? I'm going to miss fried bananas. That's something we don't have back in the States. Unless you're going to make it yourself, man. That's right. I'm not going to have fried bananas anymore. I'm curious. Let's see. Andy says, I'm curious, how about the difference between living in the countryside and in the town? Well, countryside, town, and city, I'm assuming you mean towns are cool. Countrysides can get, if you go too far out in the country, you got to know more bushcraft, I would say, is more handy, you know. Like how to properly not split your leg open with a axe, you know, out in the middle of nowhere when you're trying to chop firewood or something, you know. That's detrimental. I'm gonna miss these too. Yes, I know they're not energy drinks, but these are awesome. Ginseng, mint, and honey. But you want a little pick me up just to make you feel better? Yeah, these. Yes, I know they're not energy drinks, but they are ginseng. Yeah, thank you, Puka Life. If I can, I might have to actually make my own over there. I'll make it like fried okra. I'll just use banana instead. Hey, Flea, how you doing, my brother? So, towns are not bad, Andy, as long as they're not too big. If you can get far enough out of town to put up a camp, the best way to judge a town, if you're far enough out, is can you safely have a fire? If you can safely, it doesn't mean you have to have a fire. Because if you start a campfire, there's always a chance that you're going to get, the smoke's going to draw attention, or someone's going to be able to locate your camp. So, so you don't want to start a fire in a dangerous area because they'll find you and steal all your gear and stuff. So cities, I would say no go on the cities. The only people that end up in the cities are what we call home bums. Home bums are the people that, usually drug problems or whatever. But they stay in the cities because the resources are easiest. So free meals and sleeping at the shelter and, and that's no life to live. You know what I'm saying? That's a home bum. That person doesn't travel, doesn't work. A tramp is a person that travels but doesn't work. A hobo is a person that travels and works. There's the definitions for you. And that's your three types of bums. Vagabonds, tramps, hobos, and home bums. All right, let's see. Am I in Surabaya right now, Andy? Yes, I'm still in Surabaya. This is the best spot to actually come. So this spot was $4 a night with free breakfast. The Wi-Fi is decent, but like at least once a day it shuts off and they have to reboot it or something. But only for a little while. But yeah, you have your breakfast over here in the morning. They're cleaning a lot. The $4 a night is for like blackout curtains and like a hostel. But you're not on the bunk beds. You get the whole bed, big blackout curtain. It's nice. $4, and it's in a good section of town. You're pretty well in the middle of right here is street food. I'm not sure if you can see that back there. And this whole little area during night is all street food. So, and if you want to go down a little farther, there's an Indomart down that way that sells fresh vegetables. Well, not a whole lot of fresh vegetables, mostly fresh fruit and stuff. So it's decent. You don't really have to go far this spot. So yeah, just remember the name. It's on my videos. And if you come to Surabaya, I definitely recommend this spot. I mean, I've been here for a minute or two, so I said I'm not going anywhere. They're the best deal. And also, Tom confirmed that. He's like, no, you're definitely in the right spot. He's like, you definitely are in the right spot. So I better get down on these comments. Sorry, guys. Good evening, Mr. Dan Man here. Yes, D. That's for cold. Yeah, I know, Andy. I know that's for colds, but it's ginseng. It's good for you. Wishing you best. Hope it's not your last visit to the sea. No, I'm coming back, Gus. I'm definitely coming back. Once you sort the bank saga, are you off straight away to wherever or going to trains? So I'm going to be doing trains. Oh, and Chi, thank you so much for the 15 ringgit, right? Yeah. Have a good dinner, AH. Take care and safe journeys. Thank you so much for that donation. Yeah, I will. Thank you so much. Let's see if I can give a heart to these. I better do that. Welcome to the official Hobo. We got a Hobo Club person. Welcome to the Hobo Club. trying to make sure I'm not getting too far behind on my comments here, guys. Just give me a second real quick. Puka Life, once I get the bank stuff done, I also do stuff like open a Wise account and all this stuff. So I'm gonna spend time there because I'm gonna be shifting from the bicycling to vagabond style, hobo style. There's a guy that's still currently doing it now. Some of the legends were like Stobe the Hobo, but he died, and actually shortly after he died, one of the legends, Shoestring, also. He was the emperor of the rails, man. He definitely was. And actually, there's a contrast difference between the two. If you want to learn more about the rails, Shoestring's basically the one you want to watch. But you have Gravedigger. Gravedigger is a friend of Josh's from Hidden Hand. He actually went stealth camping with Josh. But he's been keeping it real and keeping it alive. He's over there in the United States doing. I actually have his channel on my channel, just like advertised, because I'm switching more over from the bicycle to the so he's actively still doing the train riding. He's also very smart. I mean, he's using all the proper equipment. Where contrast difference is, I was one of those drunk hobos that just got on the rails, and as long as it was pointing in my direction. And so when I get back, I'm going to have to try and revisit all those brain cells, because I was never using, like, calling the 1-800. There's a 1-800 number that you can call to find out where the train's going. There's also, I never even had a scanner. Scanners are great for finding out when your train is powering up and get ready to take off, or the fact that you got called in and you need to get off the train to avoid being arrested and stuff like this. So these are tools I'll probably start utilizing a little more. But financially, I'll probably have to eventually leave United States again. But if I do, I'll probably go down to Mexico. I haven't actually, what's crazy is all my travels being a vagabond since I was 17 has all been in the United States. It's all been just within the West Coast, mostly in the West Coast too. So just traveling around. I never actually went down to Mexico, even though we share a border. The farthest out I went to was Hawaii, and that was just because the weather was bad. I'm still new to traveling, even though I've been doing it since I was 17 years old. And it was. I think traveling before was just something to do while I was drinking. And that's honest. I think my drinking came first, and traveling was just something I did because I was bored. So. But those days are far behind me. Now it's now I really have to worry about is eating too much so I don't get fat. Okay, where's my bike? Yeah, I didn't mention that, I don't think. So I came back to the bicycle. Is a little expensive to actually put on an airplane and ship back to Malaysia. Honestly. Or ship back to the United States. I only paid $200 with Arish. Arish has got one of my bicycles. It wouldn't, I was like, well, maybe I could get it back to Arish or something and stuff like. I was like, that's too expensive to get on a plane, and so the only thing I could do for a reasonable price, because I wanted to give it to someone, right? I could just give it to a kid on the street. That was the plan originally up in Vietnam. Was once I didn't want to do it anymore, I just give my bicycle to the first kid I saw. But Tom, I knew I didn't visit Tom, and Tom wanted me to visit when I was on the southern route, and I bypassed Tom. But then all the problems kind of gave me an opportunity to get on a boat, which the boat, it was only like 100 rupiah, so like $6 to get my bicycle on and bring it down here. And I gave all my camping gear and my bicycle to Tom. And Tom's like, well, I'll hold it on to it for you. Once it's I give something, I don't want to ever have anybody feel they're obligated to keep something for me. But if you want, that's up to him, because most likely, there's no guarantees what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, more or less a year from now. So, but So yeah, so AH3, the American Hobo 3, is found its new home with Tom, and Tom's going to put it to use. He's already got plans for riding it this coming week, stuff like that. I didn't fix the chain. I didn't want to fix anything if I was just going to give it away. I was like, nah, you know. So yeah, Tom's got it, and he just has to start up his own. Also, I gave away my camping gear. Gave away my battery bank. I do have a 30,000 watt-hour battery bank. I'm hoping I can get on the airplane, but so the thing is I can go from KL back to the United States with 2 bags, but the flight that I got for cheap from here to KL, only 1 carry-on. So I got to get less than the 7 kilograms, which I'm at that now. So because I gave away everything. So when I hit KL, I get my hammock, put a little more weight in, but no big deal because I can have check-in luggage on that flight. I will get laid over, guys, over in Taiwan for 24 hours. I'm not sure what I'll do, if I'll sleep in the airport for that amount of time or if I'll try and leave the doors and go exploring for the day. So, I got to put in a notice to them too. Tell them I'm coming to their country. So I got 2 weeks for that. Hey, Eric, if you hear this, remind me when I get there in Malaysia that I need to put in a travel notice or Tom too. I need to put in a travel notice to Thailand. Not Thailand. Taiwan. Otherwise, I will be stuck in the airport. Your Wi-Fi is lagging. Okay, guys. Well, Puka Life? No. I switched sleeping systems just because a hammock's harder to find camping spots for because you got to have the trees a certain amount of space apart. So I went to Decathlon, got the same tent that Usman over on Let's Go Cycling has, because it was the cheapest. Got a ground mat and I got a sleeping bag. Those are the things I just gave to Tom, and then I wrapped up because I have sentimental value invested in that because I got that one in Japan when I was doing the Kimono Kodo Trail and sleeping up on the Japanese mountains and stuff. So I kind of got sentimental and I do like it, and it's also $250 plus $100 rain fly. So that's like $350. I figured I could spend a little bit of extra money, $100 for the ticket to go get it. So that also gives me a chance to see Erish again. So yeah, that's what I'm going to get right now. He's actually got it. It costs $30 to mail that though, from Indonesia to just to Malaysia, and that's crazy. $30 is, you know, when you can get a meal for $1.20 and $30, you know, US to mail something, it's crazy expensive. Yes, you have to complete your digital arrival card before leaving for Taiwan, otherwise you will have to do it at the airport. Yeah, it's, well, as long as you can do it at the airport, that's not a big deal. The stream's perfect. Yeah, I checked okay, so I ran the internet through the speed test to check it, and believe it or not, their download time is really kind of lagging, but their upload always seems to be around 20. I'm pretty sure that's 20 megabytes a second. I don't think it's megabits a second. I don't know. That's megabits a second, right? Which state do I stay in? When I get back, I'm going to be landing at the Phoenix airport. I don't like Phoenix too much, but I know the area, and I know right above Phoenix, either hitchhiking distance north of Phoenix, or there's a train, but there's 2 ways the train can actually break away. One will go towards Flagstaff, but another one will head over to like towards Bakerfield and stuff like that in California. So I mean, it's a you can take the chance, no problem, or you can hitchhike and go to Sedona and then Flagstaff. Sedona is beautiful. So I've done both of those. Uh, so I'm going to head towards Flagstaff. Then I think the line up there is BNSF, and then start heading eastbound on that line. Just because it's a nice line. It really is. There's two ways of actually getting to like Oakland, California, and anyway. So yeah, Flagstaff. So Phoenix up to Flagstaff, and then from Flagstaff train. But I'll probably try and just get the train out of the big yard there on the north side of Phoenix. I think last time I just got on it at night. It was good enough. And then hopefully it'll turn. If not, then I'm going to be taking a train trip. But I got some time. So yeah, it's go up to Flagstaff, catch the train is the plan. And then head eastbound. All right, guys. Let's see. Will you cycle again when you get your ATM? So I'm not going to have a state, but I'm going to land in Arizona. The answer to your question there, Ronnie. Will I do the cycling again? Not for a while. There's an idea that I would like to do the fold-up cycles, the smaller fold-up cycles, and try and start packing that around as gear for like getting on and off the trains. I've met one person before. It's not very common. People actually getting their bicycles on the train, hopping the train, and then when they get off, they have transportation around the new area that they're in. But it's not common at all. But people take their dogs on the train too, you know what I'm saying? So I guess it could be much harder than trying to lift a boxcar.